The summer of 2025 is going to set the course for superhero films going forward and determine whether or not this is a genre that will remain at the top of the heap of Hollywood. Today, we'll tell you what two shocking films will set the stage for what is to come in entertainment for a decade ahead. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment. And you know the line, we keep you ahead of the culture curve. The only thing we ask of you is click that like button. And here we dive into yet another video of excellence. This out of screen rant that's talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. It says the team costumes for the Fantastic Four First Steps revealed a lot more white coloring than originally thought for the MCU film. The new suits draw inspiration from the John Byrne era of the Fantastic Four comics with white and blue colors. Joseph Quinn's Johnny Storm sports a suit with the white sleeves and a blue midsection. Why does it matter? Well, folks, we'll get to that in just a moment, but there's the picture for you. Look at old Pedro right there. Oh, Pedro, oh, Pedro. Hope you're just as popular as you can be, Pedro, because Disney needs you to save not only Star Wars, but now Marvel. What are we talking about? Well, folks, the Fantastic Four first steps. First steps, not final steps. We hope it's not final steps. They hope it's not final steps. But the Fantastic Four First Steps is Disney's first step at fixing 2025. Now you say, well, Pro, what do you mean by that? And what I mean by it is Disney is in a strange place where Deadpool and Wolverine reset Marvel. It's the first time that they've been anti-woke. Marvel is still stuck, though, with quite a few jokes that they have to burn through, much like DC did in the past. Now, I'm referring to the fact that in the past, DC had to get rid of quite a few movies that were absolute stinkers, and they knew they were going to be stinkers. They knew they were going to be losers. But before they could pivot to James Gunn, they had to get rid of that stuff. Hello, Flash, we're looking at you. So what is Marvel doing? Well, Marvel has Agatha. Marvel has Thunderbolts. Marvel has Captain America, Brave New World. Marvel has quite a few things. Ironheart, by the way. Marvel has quite a few things that were created and worked on and generated during a time when the company believed in being totally woke. That has gone away, but they are stuck with those things. Fantastic Four is currently being produced, and they're rushing it out the door to create a bridge to get them to the new Avengers movies with, well, Tony Stark. I guess we'll call him Doom for now, but RDJ. They're trying to get a bridge there, and they want to get Wolverine with Tom Holland, Hugh Jackman together. That's what they want to do, and they want to get back to a winning formula. But they're stuck with suck for quite a while. However, if Marvel is unsuccessful with the Fantastic Four, which is a possibility, if they're unsuccessful with Fantastic Four, if they cannot achieve a win in 2025, this becomes a nightmare scenario for the company, for the studio, for Disney. And this was very well highlighted by Alan Ng on the Valiant Renegade Show Sunday, August 11th. Alan Ng was talking about how there are two films that are going to set the stage for the success or failure of superhero films going forward. If Fantastic Four fails to launch, and if it does not sail, SAIL and SELL, as in to moviegoers, it's going to be very hard to launch the rest of the X-Men era, the mutant era that Marvel wants to do. But, folks, that's not all, because guess what? Both of these films are coming out within 2 weeks, and both of them are going to set the course for their studios. Superman, James Gunn explains why a movie likely won't have reshoots. Superman Legacy is going to be coming out. Now, what are we talking about here in terms of release dates? Well, Superman Legacy will come out July 11th, summer 2025. So the next summer, July 11th. 2 weeks later, on July 25th, the Fantastic Four will hit theaters. Okay? That's a very tight window where, for Marvel, they need to come in and display Superman Legacy. And for DC, they need to have such a strong showing that they're bigger than Fantastic Four when Fantastic Four releases. And that's especially true because Superman is bigger. Now, why is James Gunn saying to the press that the movie won't likely have reshoots? You always have to think about the meta of this. James Gunn doesn't have to tell people that there probably won't be reshoots. James Gunn is choosing to tell people that there probably won't be reshoots. And why might he say that? Well, James Gunn might say that because James Gunn wants to convey a sense of confidence, not only to DC bosses, not only to Zaslav, but also to Marvel and to the rest of the industry. James Gunn is saying, I've got this. Just like I did with the Guardians, I've got this with Superman. We've done it so well, reshoots are not going to happen. This is not going to be another Snow White. And that's going to keep things all right. But for both of these, if Superman fails to launch, if it's a disaster, if it's a flop, then DC will have a horrible situation on their hands. If Fantastic Four fails to launch, it would be a lesser problem, but it would still be a huge problem because it would indicate that whatever Marvel is now trying to do isn't going to do so well. And Marvel already preparing for a very rough 2025 with Thunderbolts and Captain America, neither of which is anticipated to do all that great. Could we be surprised? Maybe. Folks, let's talk more about this switching, this changing of the guard at Marvel in particular, and let's find out what the rest of an expert panel might say about it.
You know, last month has been pretty good for Marvel with Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, that is going to be the #1 R-rated movie ever made in terms of box office at this point, at this pace.
Chris, how are they going to handle this next? They got a problem, though, with Marvel. How are they going to handle that they've got all this junk they've got to flush out that's going to take them a year and a half to do so? Are they going to try to do anything to soften that, to get people to say, well, we're really going back to Deadpool and Wolverine? How do they handle the messaging there?
It's grit their teeth, put it out, smile, and lie. I mean, that's Feige is a team player. He supports, his projects. I think any admission of failure or mistakes is always behind the scene. And I can tell you from what I hear, Kevin Feige is very blunt and very pragmatic. I'll repeat what I said on Drinker's show. Phase 4, it's just we tried it. It didn't work. So back to what works. But to pivot, it's like turning a battleship going one direction, 180 degrees. I mean, it's like it takes a while. So Captain America looks bad. We'll get that bad movie. Thunderbolts looks like a Disney Plus show. I saw the footage. Wasn't great. Fantastic Four shows promise. I'm not saying it's great. It's very different. It shows it could be good. I still think Pedro Pascal is miscast. But then you've got Agatha. That's going to drop like a thud. And then you've got Ironheart. I predict that will come out in January, dropped in one day. They will echo that show. That's what they will do to Ironheart. And all this stuff will be forgotten. Get back to the basics. Can you imagine how exciting it would be if they even announced, like, we're going to do a Black Panther movie. We're recasting Chadwick with a new actor. And that would be, I think fans deserve that. That was the biggest mistake with that movie, not to recast.
Right. So the way that we've heard they're going to try and resolve that, Chris, is that they're going to bring Storm into the Wakanda world, and they'll connect the X-Men to Wakanda that way. But primarily, Storm will be used to promote Wakanda. Disney is so invested in Wakanda. I mean, one of their burgs that they use for their black employees is named Wakanda. So they really can't drop it. And I'm not sure if they're willing to recast. But anyway, that's what I'm hearing, is that they want to bring in Storm. And then it'll be female-led, which that gives them what they wanted anyway. But it'll be interesting to see if this new version of Feige, if he goes along with that now. Because that, when we were hearing about that was back during the Victoria Alonso Mantle strategy days.
I mean, he's pragmatic, but there are people more powerful above him. And those were the people that dictated a female Silver Surfer for some reason, which is terrible. If you know the original comic, you know that, the Surfer, and he forms a relationship with Alicia, who's blind, so which ties into why they trust the Surfer. Anyways, makes no sense.
They kill so many great moments by making that Shalla-Bal. Silver Surfer is my favorite Marvel Comics character of all time. So this bugs me. There's so many things about him being a dude pining for his lost love that erasing all of that by making it Shalabal just changes the nature of the character.
Yes, it does. It does. So I don't know, but I will say the footage. I don't know if you saw. Did the footage leaked of FF, right?
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I saw it. Yeah. I liked
but
it.
with somebody's head halfway in the frame, of course.
Right. I really liked it. It looked different. It's Matt Shackman who did WandaVision. You know, that it's got a sort of 60s feel to it, like dating game and all this. It's funny. It was it was a good vibe. I like the idea that FF stands for Future Foundation, which eventually becomes Fantastic Four. You know, it's I like the vibe. I've never seen a good Fantastic Four movie. The best was the Corman version, which I was on the set for, which is weird. But so yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll be reporting all weekend on the Film Threat channel, so you know, look for that. But you can also just tune into Disney Plus and watch the footage. I mean, you guys can you do that and then like live stream that and then comment live? Can you do it?
Well, you know, it's interesting.
We
the copyright issues are going to get
stream.
The copyright issues, you because you know, we would need clarification from Disney, and they're not going to give it whether or not you can live stream what they're live streaming on Disney Plus. But I don't see any issue with coming in 5 minutes later. Now we're going to lose out on some of the merchandising videos that you guys are going to get to do, where you go through and you take a look at the tchotchkes, the souvenirs, the replicas, and get to talk about it. And I'm looking forward to sending folks your way. Hopefully they will tune into you and not to Disney Plus. That's what we recommend. Folks, go check out a better platform than Disney, which is Film Threat, and find out what's going on D23 this weekend. Yeah,
I got to run, but thanks, you guys. Sorry, I have the Film Threat is like my real job that I have to. But YouTube is like a side thing for me.
And folks, we've come to the end of yet another video of pure excellence right here on the Pro Channel. Sometimes people say, "Well, Pro, why do you say all these videos are excellent?" Well, for one, folks, it's because of you. You make it so, and we are greatly appreciative of your time when you elect to join us. We consider it a great treasure and a responsibility. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithm as it is the notification bell, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. And if you would not mind too badly, consider clicking that little link down in the video description that'll send you over to Vacation Radio. It's our first testing of the waters into original content creation, and we're having a great time sending out fun music to the nation. Join us, and we will continue on our endeavors. Folks, we wish you the very best. Get out there and make the world a better place. And in the meantime, until we meet again, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.